And welcome everyone to Game 1 between NotMike and BlueFox here in the MSL Code B SemiFinals. This map is of course Acheron Wastes. It's been a very popular map so far this tournament. I do believe it's probably the most played one. And I can't complain. It's actually one of my very favorite. It is different from Acheron Flots and Wings of Liberty through mainly Pride Rock here. Everything else is just about the same. So, spawning up here in the top left-hand corner of the map is the blue Protoss player, BlueFox. He's made it all the way through the round of 16 and quarterfinals to end up here. And his red Terran opponent, or red Protoss opponent, excuse me, down here in the bottom right is, of course, NotMike. So, going forward, it looks like we're going to have a mirror matchup. However, because NotMike rolls random, BlueFox actually is not aware of the race that his opponent is. So this will mean that BlueFox will need to do scouting a little bit earlier, simply because there could be a 6 pool right behind this, and there'd be no way of knowing until all the lings were dancing in his base. So it's important to get that early scout off against your random opponents, particularly. We do see a little bit of a difference here in the builds between the players. We do have a gas geyser going down from BlueFox and none for NotMike. However, it does go down now, and we are also saluting NotMike for his randomness. So Scout going to go down. Very similar builds. The gas for BlueFox is quite a bit faster. It is already finished. However, that's not going to make a huge difference in the long run. We do have another pylon waiting for that cybernetics core. Cybernetics core usually goes down right around 3 minutes. Okay, perfect. Cyber core from NotMike, or from NotMike, and from BlueFox. So we see so far a mirror build. This is actually one of the matchups that you don't generally see people scouting as much in. Ooh, another gateway going down. So finally we have another difference. BlueFox has gone for a second assimilator, whereas NotMike has gone for a second gateway. So NotMike will have the ability to have many more units out more quickly. However, his tech will be lower, but he will have those extra minerals, not only from the fact that he did not build this gas geyser yet, but also the opportunity cost of having 3 workers on gas geyser instead of on minerals. Because remember, each worker is roughly 40 minerals per minute. So every minute that goes by, that's additional zealot and a half or a stalker. So interesting way to think about things, just something to be aware of. We do have the other gateway going down for BlueFox. However, now NotMike has switched things up a bit and does have the robotics facility going down. So with that, of course, being a higher tech building, you're going to need some additional gas to produce units out of there. Throwing down that gas geyser, excellent timing there. We do see BlueFox mining with 2 guys in each gas. This can actually be on purpose, believe it or not. Creator popularized this, and it's been proven to be quite effective, especially in basically the longer macro-heavy games. Particularly at the very beginning, you need to have just a little bit more gas than 1 gas geyser to be able to start getting those upgrades, and then it's very easy and very quick to start adding the gas in later. So other than that, not too much different here, although a second robotics facility going down for NotMike, while there is only 1 for his opponent. So depending on the way things go, NotMike will potentially have a much larger number of immortals. Presuming, of course, that he chooses to produce them, given that there's 1 in the production queue waiting on this pylon. It seems a pretty good likelihood that that will be the case, that he will be going into double immortal protection against this Protoss player who has previously gone very aggressive early in the game. So army sizes very similar, income, harvester count is the same. BlueFox does have the substantially larger army right now. It's almost 5 times larger, but really that's just 1 warp-in cycle, so that's not as large of a deal as it once was. We do have a proxy pylon going down for BlueFox. And back in NotMike's base, there's not enough out yet. He has not been able to utilize the second robotics facility until just now. And now that he has that, he does not have the ability, once again, that gas that late gas geyser, and he's only got 2 in there. Okay, finally a 3rd going in. That should help him produce some additional immortals. It just really is something that he would have liked to have had more units out earlier. So maybe a little bit of a slip up having 2 robotics bays or robotics facilities on 1 base, and the gateways here have been almost not used. So notice going for the higher tech stuff just ends up costing you so much. Look at the army size differences. So although if BlueFox does decide to commit to this attack, this might not actually go very well, just because the defender's advantage for a player is quite strong, and the other units will have to force their way up this choke with the superior, or soon-to-be superior, immortal count from NotMike. And also keep in mind the shorter distances for reinforcements. Although NotMike does not have Warp Gate done. Oh no, I do believe he does. Warp Gate has been finished. He'll be able to warp in right here and be right in the battle, whereas his opponent will be forced to warp in all the way back here. And you might think that 15-20 seconds might not make a huge difference, but trust me, it does. Although BlueFox definitely looking to expand out of this, looking to continue a longer game, just hoping to see if he can end this right now. He's going to lose 2 Stalkers almost immediately and is going to retreat wisely. A whole bunch of Zealots coming in. Well, some Zealots and a Stalker. Against this composition, I would have liked to have seen more Stalkers, more Zealots, but instead spending that money on an expansion, and he's going to try to keep some sort of a soft contain on NotMike, who appears a little bit hesitant to get out of his own base. We do have some more pylons going on. We have the forge done. We have still double immortal observer and immortal production. And NotMike could have a very beefy army. It would just be very hard to deal with if there was any number of zealots in this army composition from BlueFox. The army size difference has gone down significantly. There's not much of a difference in terms of army value, and it looks like NotMike is willing and able to take another base here in just a moment. He's wanting to make sure he's not going to lose to any sort of craziness, and so this observer here is going to be quite important. We do see 2 cannons going down, one in the main and one in the back of the main. The mothership core is out as well for NotMike, but still not in production for his opponent. The mothership core is actually, while it's a relatively weak unit, it's very important, particularly in PvP. It accumulates energy, and you can throw down photon overcharge, which makes your nexus almost, they call them planetary nexuses. So if you're familiar with the planetary fortress, think of the same thing, but alien style. It's quite powerful. It has a range of 13 and does 20 damage at a pretty quick rate, and that can make it very hard to break your opponent's main. However, now going into this huge engagement, it looks like with the Stalkers leading the way, the force fields and Guardian Shields did not go up, and NotMike will be able to repel this, at least for the time being. He should throw down that base here sometime soon. His opponent's actually already mining off of that base, so the soft pressure from BlueFox has kept NotMike on 1 base longer than he would have liked. And believe it or not, NotMike has the superior army size. Income is actually almost identical still. In fact, for a moment there I thought I saw that NotMike had an advantage in terms of things. And it looks like NotMike not quite sure if he wants to commit. He has been splitting things up a little bit. He with no sentries of his own to section things out. Looks like he's going to be forced to run into these really cool looking force fields and be forced to not take out his opponent's army. Sad day. So we do have some upgrades going down from NotMike. This is the first upgrades of the game other than Warp Gate. Let us see what is going on. Taking stock of the situation, 7 Immortals versus 3 Immortals. 8 Stalkers versus 7. But BlueFox has 7 Zealots and 6 Sentries mixed in as well. So the army size is technically more valuable from NotMike. However, the unit count is much higher from BlueFox, and with the addition of those Sentries, he really could section off these units and kind of rip NotMike apart in terms of if the force fields are actually correct. If not, he could accidentally push everything into the same area, or even worse, he could section himself off from his main base, things like that. So now it looks like NotMike's going to be going into the natural And this Immortal is not going to live up to its name. It'll be taken down very quickly, and now NotMike has a little bit of the defender's advantage in his opponent's base. But all the units all clumped up. This is a really nice concave from his opponent. However, the Immortal's doing lots of damage, but mostly to the sentries. Not what you want to be happening here. You want Immortal focusing down Stalkers. That's exactly what you want. And it looks like a few of them will target fire, but it looks like the Zealots here from the back will really be doing the key damage here. And NotMike will be cleaned up. And BlueFox, once again, has, it looks like for the first time actually in the game, he's got a pretty decent advantage. He has a 6-worker lead because of this much earlier Nexus. And his army still has some left, so that's definitely an advantage. We do see some more cannons going down at the front. NotMike knowing and sensing that there's likely a counterattack after this, knowing that most of that army was taken out. I don't think there's any way that BlueFox will be able to take this at this point in the game. He should just use this time to continue to extend his lead. He is getting charge, getting some more observers, continuing probe production. So we'll see where things land here in just a little minute as things continue to kind of stabilize. We do have a lot of probe production out from NotMike. I'm surprised that this Mothership Core is not here at the front, able to do things like Time Warp. A Time Warp here would cause quite a bit of trouble for BlueFox. And it looks like it may have been simply forgotten back here in the unironic back of the base. So everyone just kind of taking a moment for themselves. It's kind of a gentleman's agreement. You took out my base, now allow me to retake my breath, and we'll see what goes on from here. Surprised we don't have another gas geyser down here in the expansion. Ooh, is that an observer? Pretty sure that was an observer. The insides of it rolling all the way down the hill. Love the physics in this game. Love the fact that there are physics now. Particularly Neoplanet-esque could be quite entertaining. Does NotMike know about this? He does not know about this. A little bit of a misclick or something, not having a pylon here to scout this, and it looks like this is going to go down, and now NotMike is open for attack in 2 different directions. So we'll see how he handles this. These photons here, or photon cannons here, will help out quite a bit, but the Zealots are going to be in a great position to do tons of damage to those Immortals that should have been at the very back. Also, Stalker's not able to deal with these Zealots at all. We do need to see that photon overcharge going down on this Nexus, I do believe. It looks like he might hold this with the warp-ins. He does lose another Immortal, but now this Immortal here properly in the back. There goes the photon overcharge, and he is going to be repelled. I think that could have been thrown down much earlier and would have saved him quite a bit of resources, but now we see charge going down for NotMike as well. We do see continuous warp gate or Immortal production, charge and Dark Shrine, but we also see his opponent expanding behind this. However, in the units tab, NotMike has regained most of that worker lead. He's only now behind by 2 workers, and is actually still totally in this game. He's got a food advantage over his opponent. Slightly larger army. Only down now by 1 in worker count, so I feel like the relative passivity from NotMike is really starting to hurt him a little bit here. He did have an observer earlier in the game watching over this army, and I think he might be able to take that with the number of Zealots. However, not anymore. The moment of time has closed. Both players extremely broke, actually. That can be really annoying, but it also can be a sign that you're both playing pretty well, actually. What that generally means is that you're spending all of your money as it comes in a very efficient manner, or it means that you're queuing horribly and you think you're playing really well. So, a whole bunch of probes here. That could actually be a gigantic reason why he does not have anything in the bank. There's no production. Equal worker count, but only 1 place to mine from. So NotMike definitely needs to get another place. He does take out this Pride Rock. Surprised that his opponent has not done the same. And he's going to take this here as his 3rd base. So things still staying about the same. Ooh, these rocks might be under fire. Is NotMike going to react at all? He sees it. He sees it. He is now coming down, going to be able to defend this. I don't think there's going to be anything here that will really be too big of a deal. This is a really narrow choke to attack into. I think BlueFox is simply opening up a future attack avenue. So now this base is not nearly as secure as it once was, as all of those hit points have been taken off the destructible rocks that were once Pride Rock. Kind of surprised that these rocks are still up. Usually these ones go down before this base goes up. This was done in reverse order. It could be a little bit sketchy. And why are my keyboard shortcuts not working? Production. Okay, we do see some Dark Templar on the field. There is no observer here with this army. In fact, are there any observers out on the map? There are no observers on the map for his opponent. This could be quite devastating, although there are cannons everywhere. Once the cannons go down, when I say cannons, there's only one cannon. If NotMike can correctly identify that there is no detection anywhere on the map, he could have a very large window of time where he could do lots of damage. Focus down this nexus. He's going to go straight into the main, or I clicked on the minimap really close to the main. He can take out lots of infrastructure. The army size is currently higher. He's going to take down the high priority robotics bay. Waiting to see, you should take out the robotics facility as well. The observer in production, this will not have a chance to get out. Excellent move there from NotMike. Continuing to focus down additional infrastructure. This will hurt BlueFox substantially here. And actually, I don't know, there's no way, oh, there is an observer. Oh no, that's NotMike's. There's still no observer out for his opponent. So these Dark Templar have free reign until more cannons go down. He's supply blocking, or will be close to supply blocking his opponent right here. I think that is in fact the goal. I actually kind of think he should take out more of these buildings right here instead of taking out the stuff back here. Also, the Dark Templar being idle. This one here, getting a few more kills. He needs to do things like take down these upgrades and take out these pylons, so then these cannons cannot go up. It's going to take this out. That's an excellent move here. I'm surprised that BlueFox is not trying to counter all those sentries, all those high-value units. Also surprised there's no production from NotMike. He's spending all of his micro time right here, taking out lots of his opponent's army. And at this point in time, the army value is getting quite high in proportion for NotMike. The force fields here, these Dark Templar need to move. Okay, that's the only thing anywhere nearby that can detect them. They should take out the entirety of this base. There has been another robotics facility on the way. There should be another observer in production sometime soon. Not sure where it is. Continuing to warp in pylons. NotMike should be really macroing very hard behind this, perhaps taking another base, taking these gas geysers, getting those probes to work. It looks like he's spending quite a bit of his APM here. Going to be causing a little bit more problems, but I think BlueFox is going to stabilize here in just a minute now that detection has been regained. So in terms of resources lost, NotMike has been very cost efficient. However, I think if more Dark Templar had been morphed and warped in, I think that this could have gone really poorly for BlueFox. So good job there stabilizing. I'm surprised that NotMike did not capitalize on that a little bit more than he did. But it is what it is. So good job there. I also like the proxy pylon placement there. You can warp in on the low ground or on the high ground. It's quite fun. Everything is stabilizing again. BlueFox, they are even again in terms of army size. Workers, NotMike has a slight lead, but because he's down, well, he's actually the same number of bases, he's just not completely saturated. There's a whole bunch of Dark Templar over here. Just could have been participating in that fight and just simply cannot. And I feel like NotMike feels that BlueFox is in a lot better position than perhaps he is. There is still no observer out here. And these Dark Templar, oh, there is now an observer. Where is that observer? Where are you? There you are. You are hiding inside the Colossi's head. How clever. And now, so the Colossi are here. He did delay them quite a bit, taking out that robotics bay, but without it, without continuing to do more substantial damage to the infrastructure of his opponent, other than that, BlueFox really didn't lose very much. He lost some pylons, he lost a few workers that were idle and doing nothing, and so not a big crippling blow, although it felt very successful. NotMike's going to get caught here a little bit. He does not have blink on these. As I accidentally click the B button to go back in time, we will rewatch these stalkers get trapped here as they come in. No blink. This is a tragic mistake. The force fields here are forcing them out. Gonna get caught. They're still on move command. They're not even attacking. Now they will be attacking. The Zealots coming forward. NotMike, knowing that this is a crucial engagement. The Colossi here only want 2 more joining the fray, though. And it looks like, although there's a huge number of Immortals from NotMike, I think the Colossi and their AoE will cause gigantic problems. These Colossi here, even hallucinated Colossi, trying to give the army some additional beefiness. And it looks like this is actually going to go really poorly for NotMike. Everything's going to be taken out here, and it looks like BlueFox will simply be able to walk in. These cannons here will help buy him sometime. The Stalkers will be able to help out, but not enough here. We need Photon Overcharge to go down as well. And there it goes, Photon Overcharge, but this is a little bit too little, too late. If that had gone down earlier while the cannons were still here, this would have been a much closer game. So, overall, I feel like very similar in terms of army supply. I just think NotMike was a little bit hesitant, and I think that's what ended up costing him the game. And I think, in all actuality, it was a very close game. It just might not have felt that way. And a few key mistakes, I think, really is all that separates him from a victory. So we'll see if NotMike can come back in Game 2, or if BlueFox will continue his now created winning streak.